Whoa, guys, calm down, calm down. See, here's your cube defense. Yeah. I'm giving you cube defense. Is this good enough for you? Is this what you've been begging for? Is this what you need to regain for you to regain trust in me? And then I'll put out cube. Is this what you need? Really? Guys, hello everybody, Jengle12 here back with another video, and we are playing Cube Defense once. Actually, we're not playing. Well, we are playing, but we aren't playing. Cube Defense, and we are going to be talking, actually, not specifically about Cube, but just a storytelling video, as the title's already described. If you'd like to just listen and not actually watch, feel free to. The only thing that'll be showing here is gameplay. As I talk about some stories that I have back whenever in the earlier days of Cube Defense, whenever it was just me, Hunter, Red, Weeby, and a few others. So I'm gonna go ahead. I've got this file open that shows me all my information, the things I've listed out here. So I'm just gonna jump right into it and go from the very beginning here. Storytelling kind of thing. So feel free to go listen to go do something else as you listen, because this will be mostly just pretty much me talking here. So there's no other place to start than how I first discovered the game of Cube Defense, and this was also because of Red Guy and Weeby. What happened is I joined a Discord a very long time ago for a YouTuber by the name of CodePrime8, and I joined his Discord server, and I'd been in it for a long time, but eventually I became a staff member of that Discord. And as a staff member, I got to know the staff really well, including, lo and behold, Red, Weeby, and Hunter, and Fairy, who were all staff members of the Discord. So I got to know them during that time, and they actually invited me at one point to go play Cube Defense with them. This was back during Alpha. This is whenever the game was totally new and still in Alpha. I joined Hunter, Red, and Hunter, Weeby, and Fairy, and we played a defensive game on the early Alpha version of Neighborhood, and it was hilarious because they would keep trying to spam towers in one place to try to get like multiple towers in one certain section, and that got Red. It triggered Red. It's really annoyed him when he saw that happening, and they knew it too, and they didn't care. They kept on doing it and annoying him, and it was funny to watch. But that was my introduction. I basically watched as they carried me through every single wave and defeated the Rubiks with their Star of Zaruzo, at the time the most powerful tower in the game. So that was quite a lot of fun to get to hang out with them. The game got some updates. I mean, it updated as I was playing, but there were also a lot of little secret Easter eggs all around. If you look around, you see little scenes with Red Guy and Weeby doing things. It was pretty funny. I wish I took pictures, but they had a bunch of things like them in caves, them at a campfire, stuff like that. It was pretty cool. But there eventually got an update that added a parkour in Cube Defense. Yeah, that actually used to exist. It was quite a simplistic parkour, actually. It was moderately difficult to beat. I managed to beat it a few times, and that was pretty good. But the reward for beating it was, at the very end, there was a big pile of cash, and that was a good, substantial amount of money that could get you some towers down. And I was pretty good at defeating it. So usually I was getting that money pretty fast, and it was helpful to help me place down my little light turret back then. That was what it was. I had like 3 or 4 towers back then. It was almost nothing. But yeah, that was that was really the beginning of a Cube Defense. The YouTuber CodePrime8 also did some streams on the game. He streamed it and played it with the developers and stuff like that. All good old times. And if you ever can find those videos on CodePrime8's channel, those live streams, he records them all. He keeps them on his thing. You can see him joining Weeby and Red and going playing. He's got a video on it in Alpha. It was pretty cool. I continued to play games with Red and Weeby and Fairy and Hunter, and we just played, got to know each other better. Different things like Minecraft and I don't think Fortnite actually. I don't know if we played Fortnite, but we played a bunch of games. And eventually, what happened is they created the Discord, right? So once I was told that there was a Discord, I got an invite, joined the Discord, and it was pretty much just me getting in there and asking for staff, and then we coming up with the coin and being like, sure, but heads or tails? And I'm like, and then they explained that if I got it right, I'd get what I wanted. So I flipped for tails. I think, I could be wrong, but I think at least one of them I remember specifically. I flipped for tails and I landed on it, and so I got what I got the staff roll. So that's how I got staff in the Discord. If you noticed, I also do not have staff anymore. I am now retired, and I'll explain that one later as well. Continuing on from there, that was not the only thing that I had to coin flip for. There were a lot of other things that were coin flipped for with Weeby. One of them being his friendship, actually, on Roblox. If I was to add him, I added him as a friend, and he said he'd accept it if I landed on what I called. The first attempt I failed, and it didn't happen. I didn't get his friend request. I didn't get my friend request accepted. But the second time, I succeeded, so that I got that. And then the other coin flip that I can remember is whenever I actually asked Weeby if he would unlock on my tower slots. I believe this was because everybody else, all the other close friends, people and staff, I think, had gotten theirs unlocked manually without having to pay a bunch of gold. So I asked for it, and Weeby was like, coin flip. So I coin flipped, and I think it was actually the first try. I think me and Hunter actually together did this. We both got the coin flip, and we both got it. So we both got our tower slots unlocked manually by the developers. My tower slots have always been unlocked by the developers. I never paid. I think I may have unlocked only 1 or 2 of my tower slots. The rest were unlocked by Red and Weeby. So I think Weeby actually. So that was pretty awesome. And it was funny too, and it made it a bit easier to get towers in the inventory. So eventually the game hit beta phase, things started getting updated more regularly, it started actually getting some players. We were actually starting to grow, Discord was starting to grow. It wasn't much, and me, Red, Fairy, Hunter, and Weeby, we were all on the top of the leaderboard, so it was that was kind of interesting. That's the only time I've ever been on the leaderboard, is whenever, back in the old early beta days, whenever the leaderboard first came out, there was very few people that were playing Cube. So that was, there are some pictures actually of that. So if you want to, I don't know where you'd find them though, but those were some good old days when it was just us playing. We were on the leaderboard, but the leaderboard also had the stars leaderboard back then. And the thing about the stars is those were actually created. Those actually came up with. This is another story. I actually helped create the idea of stars. Originally, the idea for stars was kind of going to be similar to a trophy system with ranking that you'd see in other games like Clash of Clans and stuff like that. You know, trophies and ranking, that sort of thing. That was the idea originally, because there was competitive, and we were going to use that for competitive. I think this is about the time the competitive was coming out. So we kind of were going with the ranking system there. Now that actually ended up just becoming stars whenever you beat any game mode, so that kind of fell out. I'm kind of disappointed in the way stars have played out. I'm hoping that they get some sort of role with a new update, but right now stars don't have much of a point. They actually never really had much of a point, so hopefully they can get something at some point, because right now they have no real use, which I'm disappointed as, because I kind of came up with it. Helped come up with it. Helped come up with it, sorry. Another thing about the old days was the idea of the C battery. Now, the C battery actually was something that I came up with as an idea for a low-level water tower, because it'd been a while and there had been no low-level water towers. So people were sitting on water maps not being able to place anything because there was no place to place it except for on very small land masses. Back then there were, I think, 2 or 3 completely filled water maps that made it really difficult to place towers on. So back then, placing towers, you had to have water towers to place on some specific maps. Now with the revamp, everything is normal now, but back then, you had to have a water tower for a good amount of maps. So I wanted to get some lower level players the ability to place on water. So I came up with the idea of the C battery, and that is a low level, I believe 3 tower. I could be wrong on that. It is low level though, and it's basically just a C battery. I mean, a light turret for the water. Now, the original model is, as you can tell, it's pretty simplistic. This was back in a lot long ago. My skills were very reduced compared to now, and even now I don't have much skill, but back then it was much worse. And the models themselves actually don't look too good. I didn't spend a whole heck of a lot of time on those models, and I didn't know a lot about how to manage my my game. I didn't know F3X or something like that. It's F3X, I think. I didn't know how to use that or anything like that. So the models are really bad. As of current, I do not know if they are still in the game. If it hasn't been updated by the time, if the game has not been updated recently as the time that I published it, then it's still the old models. But if we're lucky, you'll be seeing the new models really soon. And the new models are really, really good. A lot better than what they were used to be. So good that Weeby didn't even make any changes to them. He told me directly that he did nothing in terms of changing the model whatsoever. He liked it all. So that was a big success. That was awesome. But yeah, C Battery is coming back in a new version. So that is exciting. Now, another fun and kind of crazy thing that I've done with the developers and Hunter and some staff. I don't remember everybody that was in this. I know Hunter was, I think Fairy was, and I know Weeby was. We did a video, and you can go find this. It's actually one of my more popular videos. We did a video where we broke the game, basically. What we did is we just decided that Weeby was going to go and change the stats on all of our towers. And so we just started placing towers that we wanted him to mess with, and he started doing it, and boy, it was insane. You'd see stars of Zorvuzo reach across the whole entire map. You'd see shockers spread their shocking across everywhere. You'd see enhancers going off every half second. It was hilarious. And I don't think he did gold mine. A lot of us wanted him to do gold mine, but we never actually got him to do gold mine, and to my memory. But that would have been funny to see a gold mine going off at firing every second with like 5 gold. That would have been hilarious. But the big one, and this is really the one that caused the most visual weirdness, was the orbital satellite. Now, a lot of you, if you've been here for at least a little while, since before revamp, you kind of know about the orbital satellite and Weeby. Weeby likes to often go and change the stats on his orbital satellite in some way to make it overpowered. Well, in this game, what he did was he caused it to fire at a higher rate of speed. At first, he actually slowed it down because of the second thing that he did, which was he increased the explosion radius to way larger than the map, like 1,000. Like it everywhere. And back then, the explosions did not fade out. They were solid, and they just went to a certain size and they disappeared. Well, that certain size is the explosion radius. So you got 1,000 explosion radius. That circle expands at about 1 unit per second, 1 per second. So you got this very slowly growing massive circle appearing out of nowhere and slowly engulfing the map. But then you see it again, and it just again and again, and it gets crazy because they're all different colors for different levels. So by the time that he had done them all, we had insane amounts of orbital satellites just firing like crazy. It was absurd and incredibly hilarious just watching those big circles of explosions just going and covering the whole map. Particle effects were breaking. It broke the particles. Everything was messed up visually. It was hilarious. So if you want to go see that video, go check that one out. I don't know if I'll have a card, but there'll at least be a video in my more popular videos. You'll find it. It's a really good video, really funny. I also another video that I did with the developers from a while ago, which is also another one of my more popular videos, was my playing Cube Defense with the developer video. I did this one with Red Guy. I believe this was actually before we had I'd actually ever first beaten the Rubik's Cube. I have that first video on my channel where I first beat it. It was pretty epic, but I don't believe I'd beaten it at the time that I did this video with Red. Neither had he. So we went and defended, and it was kind of fun, but it wasn't like we did a bunch of stuff, but it was really popular because it was one, Red Guy, and two, he talked about a lot of, well, mostly just because Red Guy was there, but he talked about a lot of developing stuff too in the video, so that was pretty cool. Now, another funny story to note around beta was the release of the Golden Light turret whenever Red Guy and Weeby could drop it. And I first found out about it because some of the other staff members had gotten it and they were showing it off in their games. Dirt and I think Hunter and some other people, I don't remember everybody, but they were making fun of me for not having it. And they're all messing, playing competitive in the last man standing game mode, and I wanted it so bad, so I ended up begging Weeby to give it to me. Note to all of you watching, never beg Weeby for anything. Never. Because he is going to make your wish the hardest wish you've ever gotten. Because he made me go and find Code Primate. He made me go and get Code Primate to do a collab with me. I had to get Code to do a collab with me. That was, I mean, I guess it wasn't horribly hard, but I mean, he could have just given it to me if I just asked politely. So like, I had to go and do a video, and then I had to record it with Code, and then upload. It was just, and there was no guarantee Code was even gonna do it with me. Yeah, it was kind of. It was funny, but boy, don't ever beg Weeby for anything because it's only gonna come back to hurt you. Yeah, But eventually, I got Code to do it. I got the Golden Light turret, did a video on it. Pretty epic, and I still own that tower. It's actually, fun fact, I've never lost the Golden Light turret. The Golden Light turret that Weeby gave me that one time after I collabed with Code, I've never lost that one. I've never had to get another drop, never. So that's awesome, nice thing to note. This is a bit of an embarrassing story, actually, that I'm going into now. This one has to do more with the staffing part of it. Basically, I took a moderation action I shouldn't have done, and a lot of the old staff will know what I did. Basically, back then there was the option to ban a person for a set amount of time. That was one option. The second option was to wipe their statistics. And boy, I was younger, I didn't know what I was doing, and I wiped somebody's stats. I warned them multiple times that I would do it, and they ignored me, so I did it. But still, I shouldn't have done that. In any circumstance, I shouldn't have done that. That was not deserving. Their punishment was not deserving to be wiped of their stats. There was no reason that anybody almost should be wiped of their stats. So I felt really bad after that. I was made fun of just a little. Actually, I'm still on occasion, rare occasions now, but used to be a bit more common, made fun of for that. But yeah, I feel bad for that person, and if you are watching, I don't remember your name, I'm sorry, but if you are watching, I do apologize. I wiped away like 30, I think they had like level 15 or 16 back then. Back then, that was a lot, because the game was still early, so having level up above 10, above level 10 was a good amount of levels back then, so yeah, that was kind of bad. The person did not get their stats back either. Weeby and Red couldn't return them. So yeah, I'm sorry about that one. But yep, and that kind of brings me into my final staff story, where I actually lost my staff role. And this was not actually voluntary, even though it says retired. I guess I am technically retired, but I don't know. I would if it was like official, I'd call it me being fired, because it's funny. Basically what happened was, as you guys could tell from the beginning, the reason I joined staff is because I was close friends with Red and Weeby and Hunter and all them. So I was just in staff manually because I knew them well. Well, they started upping their tightening their way that they ran the Discord. Their staffing, there was a lot more strictness to it. And I didn't realize this at first, or if I did, I kind of ignored it. I think I kind of did a little bit, but I ignored it. And plus, I kind of didn't understand fully how to moderate. They use a bot to moderate Discord, or at least they used to. And so I didn't know how to run the bot. I tried to learn it, and I didn't try hard enough because I couldn't figure it out. And yeah, that was a bit of an oops, because I didn't do much staffing, and because of that, eventually one day, I believe it was in the afternoon, I was DM'd by Yeet Sauce, 55, I believe. I hope I just said his username correctly. I may have been wrong, but I was DM telling me that I had been too inactive as a staff member and had been removed from the staff role. So that was a bit of a depressing note, and I mean, I accepted it. I understood why, and I did ask Red a question or two, but it was I understood in the end why I'd been removed from the role. And as of now, I'm happy I'm not a staff member anymore. It would hinder me as a YouTuber to be able to manage my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So I'm very glad that I do not have the staff role anymore. But yeah, that is how I lost the staff role. For a lot of you, I bet, that have wondered. So yeah, my friendship with Weeby Red and a lot of the staff still remains. I still hang out with some of them often, especially Red, Weeby, Hunter, because they're a Stell staff like me in the Code Primate Discord. So we still know and hang out with each other a lot. And yeah, and I'm glad to say that I have remained friends with these people for a long time, because I really have enjoyed their friendship. And it's pretty awesome being a YouTuber for a game that your friends develop. That's pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. So it's really nice. But yeah, we still play games together. It's pretty awesome, and I'm still good friends with the Red Guy, Hunter Weeby, and Dirt and Hunt. And I haven't seen Fairy online in a while, but it's been I really have enjoyed my time hanging out with them, and I hope that we continue to be friends for a long time from now. Guys, that is... Oh, voice crack. Oh, gosh. Guys, that is... Oh, not again. Guys, that is my... that is my video for today. I hope you did enjoy this commentary. Yeah, that's my stories. Hunter, Red Guy, Fairy, Dirt, Weeby. If any of you guys or anybody else that I did not mention, I have probably forgot some people, some staff members, and I apologize for that. But if any of you guys want to add anything, feel free. I bet I forgot something. I definitely didn't remember all the good stories, but I'm sure that those were a lot of good ones. That's 23 minutes worth of video. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy these stories. So yeah, guys, hope you did enjoy. I will see you all in the next video. Oh yes, I guess I have to call this out. If you did enjoy, would you please consider hitting the like button? And if you want to see more content on Cube Defense and other games on my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. But you don't have to. That is your choice, not mine. Guys, hope you did enjoy. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.